question that Jesus poses to the Pharisees in today's gospel might seem to us like a no-brainer. Is it permitted on the Sabbath to save life or to destroy it? Why did the Pharisees struggle to answer this question? We might think it was because their excessive legalism blinded them to the will of God. But in fact, there was far more at stake than petty legalism. In order to understand this, we need to understand that the Jewish people were surrounded by pagan peoples. In fact, the Gentiles lived in their very midst. Not a few miles away from Nazareth was a major Greco-Roman Gentile city called Sepphoris. And so the Jewish people needed something to distinguish them from these Gentile people. In the Abrahamic covenant, the mark of this covenant was circumcision of all males. You'll agree with me that this sign wasn't immediately obvious to the outside observer. So they needed to find another sign, and they chose the observance of the Sabbath that would act as a boundary marker and set them apart as the chosen people of God. Their greatest fear was that the Gentile influence would corrupt them and lead them into breaking the covenant with Yahweh. In hindsight, we can see that what they should have been putting their efforts into was being a light to all nations and witnessing to God's love for all people and desire that all people live life to the fullest. But we can see how it wasn't just about petty legalism for them. It was a matter of identity politics. If we look at ourselves today as Catholics, we need to admit that we also, in some way, engage in this identity politics. We see this when we point to the fact that we as Catholics are the one true church, or point to our distinguishing mark of our belief in the real presence in the Eucharist as that which elevates us above the rest of the fray of Christian communities. This reaction is perhaps only natural to us as human beings as a consequence of us witnessing our relatives and friends desert the Catholic Church in their droves and go and join other Christian communities. We wonder, consequently, if we are in the right place and try to console ourselves by pointing to the integrity of our sacramental economy or the purity of our apostolic succession. But instead of engaging in these divisive identity politics, we should be fostering Christian unity and fulfilling Christ's desire, his prayer to the Father that they all may be one. We will know that we are in the right place if our church becomes a place where we can heal and bind up the wounds of human sin and division and suffering, just like Jesus did. Have a blessed day.